Okay. So guys, Tableau is just a drag and drop software. Okay, so it is mostly built to drag and drop as well. That means all the features are already embedded in this Tableau, whichever is necessary for data visualization and also creation of advanced dashboards and everything. Everything is basically already embedded in this software. So this is a tool. That's why we call this Tableau as a tool. All you need to know is how to use this tool over any sort of data set which is given. So if you know how to use this tool, you can quickly create any sort of the data set by connecting it to a different data sources. Okay, so this particular window, whichever you are basically seeing now, is called data source window. The moment you load data set, you'll get this particular window in which you're going to have the understanding of the data set and everything. Data source window is particularly for data set, whichever that we have. See, guys, look at this option, drag tables here. Before that, look at this connections, means you have connected to one such your Excel file from your local. Under that, these are all the sheets which is available. Okay, all you need to do is drag and drop it here. Okay, give it few seconds. Yeah. See, I'll repeat. So all you need to do is, in order to see what is the data set and everything, you have to connect to that data set, particular sheet, whichever is that you're using for your analysis. For example, I'm dragging and dropping this orders sheet here. Okay, the moment you do that, you can see these options. Similarly, you can drag and drop it outside, means it is not required. Say there is one more sheet under the same data set called people. Okay, this has got a very few information. I'll not use this data set, so I'll just put it back. Another sheet is there which is called returns. So here also there are so many the fields that is not enough for our analysis. So I'll just drag and drop it outside back again. Okay, so which is our point of interest is this sheet, which has got all the information about the customer, shipment, everything, along with some numerical values like sales, quantity, so that we can do any sort of advanced analysis as well. So I'm using this orders table in order to create particular sheets or say many graphs and dashboards as well. Any question here? Anybody facing issue in dragging this? So guys, while doing this, sometimes what will happen if there is some server glitch, okay, because this is a public server, everybody will be using this. So if you feel there is some unexpected error, right, you need to close and wait for 2-3 minutes and connect it back again. Okay. So guys, you got it, right? So I have moved this orders thing to this data source window. I'll explain why this is needed, what is the use of it. So, one second, let me hide this and show you. Okay. So you guys can see here, this is the data set. So why this data source window is needed? First thing, it is needed for quick check over data types. Okay. So as I already mentioned, data types are nothing but each particular column is having a particular data, and that is represented by its own address called a data type. So here, let us understand what all these things here. Okay. So look at this. I have row ID with me, order ID, order date is there, shipment date. Row ID is directly provided basically by this Tableau. So order ID, orders is there. See, first thing you need to check is whether the data types are correctly pinned or not, because this is the data type which we are not specifying like we do it with Python and all, right? We don't do that. So what do we do is we need to provide, we need to check it is provided by the Tableau itself. Based on the data, it will recognize whether these data is proper or not. So you need to see whether it is correctly recognized. See here, order ID 123, it is a numerical value. Hash means numerical value. ABC means string value. Calendar represents date. Okay, so ABC. So like that. So can you guys quickly check whether the data types are correctly pinned? product name, category, everything is a string. Postal code will be basically like geotype, that is correctly pinned. So all our geo features, country, city, state, as we discussed in the previous session, there is a geo data type also. And these things like order, segment, all these things, and the order date, ship date, etc. So this is all correctly pinned. Dates are with a calendar. If it is a date time, you will see calendar with a clock here. So first thing using this will be, it is basically to understand this data properly. So what is there in the data and etc. Okay. So next will be, if you see here, it is showing some 100 rows, but you have so many. Simply just put some random number so that it will pick that properly. Okay. Just 1 second. Now you can clearly see that you have 21 fields, means 21 columns, and 9994 rows. Okay, so basically 9994 rows. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll just show any one of this. For example, let me take this one. Okay, so there is this drop down button for every column. You can see there is a drop down button. So you need to click on that drop down button. You can see lot of options here. Okay, duplicate, if you want to duplicate the same column, if you want to rename the column, you can do that. Okay, so if you don't want that, if you want to copy any particular values, if you want to hide this column. Okay, so aliases, I'll tell you. If so, guys, this calculated field and all we will discuss when we discuss on the advanced features inside the sheet. Okay, right now you just forget about this. So next is what data type. Say for example, this is the a string data type. If you see, it is directly taking it as a string. Sometimes by mistakenly, say I'll just do this way, it is taking it as number. Okay, that is by mistake what happened. It is taking it as a number. Can you see? There is a null value here, means number cannot be recognized here because the data type. So guys, sometimes what will happen, chances are there while loading, because a Tableau is a tool thing, it is not a manual thing, it should automatically fetch the data type. So while picking up the data itself, sometimes there might be a chances that you might have a data type which is wrongly pinned. So in that case, what you need to do is you need to change it to make it proper. Okay, click on this drop down, change data type. 1 second, change data type and make it as a string, because this is a string data type. Okay. So any question in this? Okay. So server version, how does the server version of the Tableau will look like? Everything is same, guys, nothing changes. Here you will see 2 more extra tabs. Okay, see, I'm talking about, we discussed on multiple versions of Tableau, right? So under that, if you're using server version, because in the industry, we always use server version only. We don't use public or anything because the data, we cannot share it in any other platform. So that's why we use the server version. Server version of the software, okay, will have 2 another tabs. So the first point in it is what? Extract, and here live. Okay, so there is something called extract and live connections. Clear, guys? So any idea by looking at the name, can you make out what might be this? Okay,
You can like run a query and get the data from the server, or there is a directly live connection connected with the server.
Yes, almost near. I'll tell you. Say guys, for example, you have a database. Okay, so usually we always connect to database. We don't directly connect it to any sheet like this. Sheet, see, I'll first explain what is extract and live connection. Okay, so extract is nothing but, first we will discuss on live to make it more clear. Live connection. Say for example, your Netflix. Okay, so Netflix is a streaming platform, right? Streaming in the sense every milliseconds, Netflix, people will use Netflix anywhere in the world and it will generate the data. So guys, remember, data is nothing but, say for example, my email ID or my subscriber ID. The moment I log in or log out, so they will connect this Netflix to their own internal database, like this ID of the person, subscriber ID, what is the minute he has logged in, logged out, and what is the total hour between these two, what program he has watched, whether he's staying in the platform more than 1 hour, something like this. They will have their own databases, and there are data engineers who will connect this Netflix data to this. Okay, so this is a streaming data. So streaming in the sense live data, which is nothing but every milliseconds, your database will be updated with a new data with the same structure, but new data. Because every millisecond, people will actually use this Netflix platform. And say, for example, you're using the same table and you have constructed the Tableau dashboard. Okay, some dashboard with some analysis or some chart with some analysis. Okay, so now what is this live connection? So guys, I have told you, if you remember, there will be a Tableau developers. Okay, it is very different than the Tableau whatever we are doing. They don't analyze the data. All they do is say for example, I am a BI basically, so I have given them the dashboard and told them make it as more automated. Means I don't want to come again and change the dashboard. Every time a new data comes in, automatically this dashboard should be refreshed. Okay, so that is what live connection. So what is the meaning of live is, you are connecting it to the live data, means streaming data. So every millisecond your charts will be changing. So guys, if you have seen a stock market trend or some sort of trend like that. Okay, just give me 1 second, guys. There is some, just 1 second. So basically when you're connecting your dashboard, okay, so when this data will add up, say for example, another few rows will be added up to the same data. I mean, few people extra will be added up and few people are watching the program. That will be quickly within a millisecond will be refreshed in this data space, and that will be very quickly refreshed in this Tableau dashboard. So that is where this live connection is used. So being a Tableau developer, what he will do is, his work is to connect these things. So he is very familiar with a data engineering skill also. He will be very familiar with how to connect all these things and make it automated. He won't be familiar with creating a dashboard. So he will be only familiar with developing this pipeline. Okay, so what he will do is, he'll just connect all these things. When the new data comes in, new things will be added up in the charts, whatever you had. So all you need to do is, you need to create a dashboard and connect to Tableau developers. They will connect all these pipelines. When the data set is actually live, right? So then you will create a dashboard to fetch that data set like this. So what is extract? This is extract. Whatever we are seeing is right. So the file format, or sometimes what will happen, we will have a database table where every month we will just extract. And so what I will do is, so we have a data set table with me, like a database table. It is not a live connection. So what I will do is, I'll just connect and create a dashboard. And when the new data comes in, you need to just manually refresh it. It is not a live connection. It is extract. Means you extract the data set from the database, connect it to your Tableau dashboards. Okay, live means every millisecond it will be live. As your new data comes into the platform, streaming platform, new data will be reflected in the dashboard. Whereas this, you need to refresh it manually. Okay, extract is nothing but extraction of that data set from the live connection. See, it is not a live, first of all. So it will be refreshed maybe yearly, or some days, 2 yearly ones or yearly ones, or like that. So that is the extract connection. Okay, these two are the extra features. Whenever you are working with a server, you can see those features. Clear about this? Any question? Okay. So guys, here you can see this Tableau details, right? This is the meta view. That's it. Metadata view, where you can view everything very quickly. Instead of going here and checking data type, you can check it here only directly. Okay. So from which table you have connected this, everything, you can check this directly from this.